Welcome back to the
CC Youth Talk Show. Hey there, hi there, oh there, how's it go there? Glad you're here with us. We are meeting online again still because it's rad. We're happy to be here with you guys. What have you been up to?
and this is Jonah Brenner. And I'm Jennifer Brenner. Yep. What have you been up to, Jonah?
Fighting narwhals and communicating with the White House with smoke signals to, talk about the politicals. Just kidding, I don't know, not much.
Oh my goodness. What have you been doing at home? You've been doing a lot of, working on your Jeep.
Working on the car, prepping for seminary stuff, contemplating life, universe, and the meaning of everything. But you guys already know all of that junk, so yep. Why are we here today?
But you didn't ask what I was doing.
Well, that's because you don't matter. Just kidding. How are you doing?
I'm having a great time taking care of my grandbaby. I didn't get to talk about her earlier. I totally forgot to talk about her. She's just totally amazing. She's 5 months old, starting to sit up and be adorable.
Yeah, she's okay, I guess.
Everybody in our family's crazy about her. She's adorable. Eleanor. Been working on projects at home, working on stuff around church. It's been a great week.
Good.
Yep.
Well, we're back here again today. We're not doing a biblical inerrancy podcast again. We are actually talking about the Great Divorce. And we're not talking about like shattered relationships or anything. We're talking about C.S. Lewis's book. This is the C.S. Lewis. The C.S. Lewis who wrote just a couple books you might have heard of, like the Chronicles of
Narnia.
Just maybe. The Screw Tape Letters, Mere Christianity.
A Grief Observed. I do.
A Grief Observed. There's a bunch of good ones that he's done. He was homeboys with my other homeboy, J.R.R. Tolkien. So,
Oh my gosh.
Bro, amigos. But we're going to be reading The Great Divorce, which is I really like the book. I think it's a really good book.
Okay, wait. We want to talk about this because just so you know, this is our second take on this because I messed something up, but we were talking about something really important. Jonah and I were talking early June about what to do with the youth that was different and new when we realized that the Zoom sessions weren't going so great. And we started talking about Sunday school sometimes cannot be, this one person was saying that, Sunday school didn't really speak to them because they just felt like it was them getting like lectured about how they're supposed to live. And why did they need that? And when they looked at literature and realized that literature creates this arc and the arc of the characters and I'm repeating myself that Mary Pat Rogers is probably gonna cringe at my description of that. What I'm trying to say is when you read literature and you see that there is a conflict and there's a resolution and there is redemption in stories, it's very much like the gospel story. And so literature can be a very useful tool for people understanding the gospel. And so that led us to saying, well, let's do a book study. And you immediately said, I want to do The Great Divorce.
Yeah.
And why is that? Because you were saying how much you love C.S. Lewis?
Well, one, because I think C.S. Lewis is really awesome. But two, because I think The Great Divorce in particular is a really approachable book for a lot of really good topics. And we'll get in more into that in just a minute, but I think a general overview for those who might not know what The Great Divorce is. Super glad to be the first to introduce you to it. I think it's a great book because it is written from the perspective of someone who lives in hell. And they're given a chance to go up and visit heaven and maybe even move there. And it's a really interesting perspective because it's someone who has to wrestle with what they're in and debate with whether or not they want to give it up, whether it's something worth giving up and changing. And I think that already speaks to our human walk in a way that's really powerful. But along the way, we meet a lot of really interesting characters that kind of identify and epitomize main sins and idols that we might hold, or main objections to the gospel that might keep us from really living in and enjoying the presence of God. So it might be a bit of like a initial tough buy-in to, imagine yourself living in hell. But I think once you really interact with the book, it's a really quick take to you want to gobble it up. It's just very fascinating. And so
it's not much thicker than this. We don't have the copy of it today because
I forgot it.
But it's about this thick.
It's not a hard book to go through. but it accesses a lot of really important topics, and I think it's a book for all ages. So, parents, if you're watching this, which I hope you are, because what are you doing letting your kids figure this all out on their own? Come on, bro.
Oh my gosh, that's so disrespectful.
I'm just kidding. Partially. But we do want you to be a part of this and join in this dialogue with us.
He's not my son. I'm just kidding.
Oh, you're not going to own me anymore?
I'm just kidding.
Oh, okay, cool. I see how it is. Fine, this is not my mother, whatever. Cool. So, I'm done here. I'm quitting. Let's go. Peace. See you guys next year.
I love you.
I love you too.
You're not my favorite, but...
Okay, anyways, back to Bible good things, because I'm going to fight her later. I'm her favorite and she knows it. Are we running with this?
Can we go to the study now?
No. You have
All right,
fronted my honor.
Okay, so those girls who were in Rebecca Healy and Lydia Hogan's class the last couple years, we did the screw tape letters with a study guide by the same gentleman, Andrew Vermeile. We probably butchered that, but if I say it with confidence, I'm correct, right?
Sorry.
The Great Divorce Study Guide for Teens, and this not only is chapter questions and stuff, a lot of Bible study things and application, which is really, really important because we just talked about biblical inerrancy, so if we didn't refer to the Bible and allow the Bible to help us with the study guide, then we wouldn't be doing a good job, right?
Be a little hypocritical too.
Yeah. So Jonah kind of gave you an introduction of what this was about. Let me get my reading glasses on, and I'm just going to read you a few of the characters in here, not all of them, but there's quite a few characters in this book. Lewis is the protagonist, the narrator. The story is written in the first person with the narrator never being identified, but is implied as being C.S. Lewis himself. Okay, and then we have spirit guides. And then we have George MacDonald. And on our first take, Jonah Googled George MacDonald. Who is George MacDonald? Basically,
he had a farm, E-I-E-I-O.
Yeah.
Just kidding. He was a theologian and teacher, Christian apologist, and he was, I think, a mentor to C.S. Lewis.
Okay.
In his life.
So he is Lewis's guiding spirit in this book, the character George MacDonald, not the real George MacDonald. Then there's the tousled hair poet, the Ike, the intelligent ghost. There's 1, 2, 3.
There's a lot of really fascinating.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different ghosts. 12 or 13, actually more than that. And then there's a lot of ghosts in here. And there's Sarah Smith. She's referred to as a saint in here. So, and just like Jonah, reiterate what you were saying about what these different ghosts, these 13, 14 different ghosts.
So I think what's really cool about this book and what's really special about it is each of these ghosts represents a perspective that we can take about the Bible or about Christian life. There's a lot of the ghosts are ghosts that are fallen or living in sin, as we might say. And they've got kind of a fractured perspective on what it means to interact with Jesus. They don't find him beautiful for a certain reason. And then as we're traveling through as characters in this book and meeting other some of those guides that are some of the saints in heaven, we see the perspective that gets transformed and what it can be changed into. And I think it's a really good opportunity and a really, I think, concrete, tangible way for us to picture and interact with our own perspective and other perspectives that we can have about the Bible, right?
Cool.
Who am I in reference to it all?
That's good. So how this study guide is going to work, there are 14 chapters in the Great Divorce, which I just was remembering we were talking about how kids can access, how our students can access the Great Divorce.
I will be doing a Morse code smoke signal setup every Thursday at 4:30 Central. Just kidding. Great Divorce is readily available. There's hardback hard copy versions of it on Amazon for like $8.
It's one you'll want to keep in your library too, probably.
It's a good one. And if you are more of an auditory person, I am, you can find it on Audible. So if anybody has an Audible subscription and you're looking for something to pick up and listen to, that's a good one. If you don't want to download it and you just want to listen to it, YouTube has a version where someone reads through
We'll give them the link to that.
and it'll be in the description below us in your computer screen, because that's happening. Yep.
So we want you to listen to it. I think we're going to do 2 chapters at a time. There are 14 chapters, and there are questions. And I'll probably send you the questions, adapt some of the questions from the study guide and send them to you so that you're a little prepared beforehand. Text us your questions, and we really, really want your feedback. So.
You can do smoke signals if you want. I can't promise I'll get it. But
It's so funny. Yeah, so ask your questions and respond to the questions that we've got here. And we really, really wanting this to be interactive and not as intimidating as Zoom. So please give us feedback on this. And so I'll get you the questions. And they're going to read The Next Bus Out of Hell, Chapter 1, and Chapter 2, Jabberjaws. So for next time. And I'm going to be reading it along with you for the first time. I've read parts of it, but I've never read the whole thing.
And I'm going to get to go through it again, and it's rad, and I'm excited. So, yeah.
It's great. So until next time.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys can catch my smoke signal. Or carrier pigeon. I'll get those too. Just a note on the ankle. Just throw it out the window. Make sure your window's open. You don't throw it into the window. That would suck. What?
Bye.
Yeah, bye.